Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to This Month in Monster Taming, the segment on this channel where we go over the upcoming updates for any given month, this time for February 2024. We've got the release of Tales of Tanorio and the Thaumaturge this month. We've got a couple of Kickstarters that are ongoing. We have the potential for some updates, which I'll get to in a bit, and more. So as per the usual, make sure to sit back, relax, subscribe to stay up to date on the monster taming genre, and let's dive in. Okay, so to start things off, we do have a couple of Kickstarter campaigns that are currently in the works, which you can check out linked below. The first of which is Pixacrea, which is a story-driven 3-on-3 pixel art turn-based roguelike game that's currently roughly 50% funded as of the time of this video going live. Now, apparently what happened with the backing here is that it was fully funded, but then somebody pulled out. So if you guys want to check it out and support the game, it's got 13 days left in its campaign. I'm sure the developer would appreciate that. Again, make sure you read through the Kickstarter campaign and educate yourself before donating, but yeah, definitely check it out. I will leave it linked below and anything else I discuss in this video. Speaking of which, we also have the Corriden Kickstarter campaign, which is a monster shape-shifting game where you basically can turn into different monsters and utilize their powers in an action combat environment, which is inspired by games such as Diablo. We've discussed this game a little bit on the channel, and they were actually present at the previous Monster Taming Direct. And one cool thing about this game is it does also feature co-op, allowing for up to 3 players to play with you at any given time. This campaign just started. It's got like 29 days left in it, so make sure you guys check it out. I will go over it a little more in a future video, so stay tuned for that. But apparently the game is planned to be releasing this year, so that'll definitely be interesting to see. On February 17th, we will have the release of Tales of Tenorio, which is a monster taming Roblox game that started off as a Pokemon fan game, but as many of you may know, Pokemon went into Roblox and basically just executed all of the fan games. That's why games like Lumion Legacy exist instead of Pokemon Brick Bronze, and now Tales of Tenorio is sort of replacing Pokemon Metal Malachite, which was a fan game on the platform as well. Tales of Tenorio seems to be doing a lot of similar things to what Lumion Legacy is doing in terms of being a Pokemon-esque RPG, and while we've definitely seen a lot of footage of the game and stuff like that, I'm not entirely sure what sort of mechanics we can expect, so we'll definitely have to stay tuned, but it will be releasing in sort of like an early access state, giving 3 or so gym equivalents to tackle and a world to explore. So we'll keep you guys up to date on that. Speaking of releases, just 3 days later, we are getting the release of the Thaumaturge, which is a story-driven isometric RPG where you play as a Thaumaturge in 1905, where you can basically like summon demons to fight for you. It doesn't have a massive monster collection element. There are, I believe, 3 or 4 demons that you can sort of tame throughout your journey, and then you utilize them specifically. But make no mistake, it is a monster taming game through and through, and definitely looks really interesting. We actually did play the demo on the channel, which I will leave linked below. Aesthetically, it looks nice. I think thematically, it seems pretty interesting, and we definitely need more mature monster taming games. I love me some family-friendly titles, but it is nice once in a while to get something in the same vein as like SMT. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing this one too. So that's pretty much it for stuff that's like hands down confirmed to be coming out this month. However, there are a couple of other things that we could see in February, just sort of based on speculation and what kind of makes sense. The game titled Critter Crops, which is a monster raising and farming and sort of social sim-esque game, is supposed to be releasing in Q1, so that is something to keep in mind. We may or may not see that this month. We also have the Cassette multiplayer update, which was initially planned to come out at the end of last year, but they still needed some stuff to do. So we could end up seeing that in February as well. Not confirmed, but considering that they thought that they could have it out by the end of 2023, it's not too far-fetched to assume that it might come out within the first quarter of this year, so something to keep in mind. And of course, Palworld just released in early access, so I'm expecting a lot of bug fixes and quality of life stuff, and who knows, maybe they might start teasing something in order to keep the sort of momentum that they've had thus far. Other than that, I'm already working on recruiting developers and getting people to bring in applications for the next Monster Taming Direct, which, if you're new to the channel, every year we do an event that's basically like a Nintendo Direct. We show off a bunch of like new gameplay trailers, new showcases, breakdowns, whatever the devs decide to submit, and we put it into to like a 1-hour presentation. The last 2 monster taming directs that took place were very successful, especially the last one. We had like over 1,300 live viewers, and the video itself at like 50,000 views. And these are all like specifically targeted monster taming people that are watching this stuff. So if you're a developer, I highly recommend putting in an application, especially with the upswing we're seeing this year in the monster taming genre because of what's going on with Palworld. So I do think that Monster Taming Direct 2024 will be insane. That said, I'm sort of recruiting people now, but the Direct is planned to be happening probably in early September, just like we saw with the last Direct. I think around Labor Day was a really good time to have it. So I will leave the application form linked below. And all I'm going to say is everybody's going to have to bring their A game this year because I think there's going to be a lot of competition. And despite the fact that it's already months out, I'm already seeing developers putting in submissions like crazy. So, you know, get on it, guys. Join the Monster Taming Direct. This is your opportunity to really shine and show your game and make a name for yourself if you haven't already. Or for some of the games that have kind of gone quiet the last while, I don't want to name any names, but this is the time to reinvigorate your audience and make a lot of goodwill, because there are a few games, especially in the Kickstarter scene, where a lot of people aren't really happy. So all I'm gonna say, guys, is if you got something to show off, this is the place to do it. I can't wait to see what everybody brings forward, and stay tuned because I will be giving you guys little teasers and stuff like that leading up to the Direct, which is gonna be crazy. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date on all things monster taming. You can also check out my Twitter, Discord, Patreon, channel memberships, all that fun stuff linked below. And special thanks to the patrons, especially Jim Hamilton, Dro Ghost, Candy Marunci, Tragsoft, and Nemo. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.